change is less than the pain of staying the same. And actually everything else that comes with it besides pain, you know, and so really people are motivated by just a few things in life. And I know, you know, speaking with Mark, it was, you know, there was this pain thing that was ultimately one of the things that just drove him to making a change. But there were other things underlying there. For some of us, it's just a competitive spirit. You know, we just want to change. Whatever the reason is for you, again, you've got to identify what that is. And so I recommend writing it down. So if you decide to change, number one, you've got to come up with a plan. And number two is then you've got to, again, typically find some support, get some help. With help, with a support plan and a plan, again, your chances of having a victory and actually, you know, establishing a revolution in your life and in your health is very feasible. And so again, we want to help you with that. So again, Mark and Holly are here. They are actual human beings that live here in Murfreesboro. Family people. They have children. They work, both of them. They've got a very busy life, and they've made some significant change in their health, their life. So I again have invited them to come on to the show here. So again, welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you know, one of the things that, you know, constantly comes up to me is just the idea of cost and health. You know, and people oftentimes, and this is not just here. I mean, I've traveled, you know, family, people from the, you know, the past that whenever it comes up, they say, well, you know, it's very expensive to be healthy, whether it's to eat organically or to go to the chiropractor or go to the gym, all these things. And so, you know, that tends to be a point where people stop. You know, a lot of people are motivated and inspired to change. I mean, like, you know, that's a great idea. I mean, I would like to be healthy. I would like to, but, you know, that but that always comes out. And one of the big things that I see come up is cost. So again, you know, talk a little bit about what type of transitions you all had to make as a family to, you know, choose this healthier lifestyle than you were living before.
I definitely think, well, let me say, I think when you make something a priority, then everything falls back, you know, and we decided that eating this way was our priority. So we're going to make it work, even if it costs a little bit more. We're spending a lot less on prescriptions that we don't take anymore. You know, probably a couple $100 a month less. So that helps. But also the processed food, you know, they talk about shopping out on the outside of the grocery store. Yeah. The stuff on the inside, you know, if you buy like a package of something, it actually costs a lot more than buying some organic vegetables. So, you know, I think shopping organically costs a little bit more, but the benefit just so far outweighs it, and it's a priority for us. I think the cost can easily become an excuse not to do something, and for us, we just decided to bite the bullet and make it happen, make it work, make it a priority.
Yeah, and I'll just add to that, you know, you're going to spend your money on something. Mm-hmm. You're going to spend your money on food. So you can decide, and the way we approached it was, okay, we're either going to spend our money on junk food that is, you know, prolonging our problems, or we're going to spend our money on good food and do the things that are going to make all this work. So, you know, I would hear, I hear from my friends all the time, oh, it's too expensive to, isn't that stuff a lot more expensive? You know, and it's funny, I've written about this, you know, the priorities that people have or what kind of, you know, stand out to me. And it's like, okay, if your priority is eating Twinkies, if that's an important part of your life, then by all means keep doing it. If your priority is to enjoy health and be a better parent and things like that, then you're going to need to change some things. But, you know, people, friends of mine, you know, and Holly's, they, you know, we hear a lot of, you know, they're in a cult, you know, they're crazy. They've lost it. They've gone off the deep end and things like that. And it's like, well, I don't really care what you think anymore, because, you know, we know that what we're doing is right. And if it costs a little more money to do this up front, we've already, in less than a year, we've already experienced those benefits. So we know that it's worth it. It's not even a question anymore. So.
Yeah. You know, and that, I just want to speak briefly to the idea that, you know, you're not necessarily getting support from everyone around you, but choosing to surround yourself with people who are supporting you. So maybe speak a little bit about that, because I know, Mark, you've spoken to me briefly about your experience with, in work, and so what has been your experience with that, with finding, a good support system for your lifestyle? Because has your system changed a little bit over the last year, like who you're spending more time with, who you're talking to, or is it the same, or is it, what does that look like?
Well, I'll just say that when we go out of town to visit family, we're happy to see family, don't get me wrong, but we can't wait to get back and be back in our little cult. We've talked about on our last trip, can't wait to get back in Dr. Pete's office with people that think the same way we do, or to go to CrossFit and be around people that eat the same way we do too. And it's just, you definitely surround yourself with people that are doing the same thing you do and believe.
And I was thinking about this yesterday. One of the things that I've noticed when I started, and I'm just going to use the people that I'm around on a daily basis, and I love everybody I work with, so don't get me wrong, but you start doing, you walk into your lunchroom with a salad and water, and I was the guy that was a candy fanatic. I've got a terrible sweet tooth, and would go and eat everything that I wanted. It didn't matter what it was,
or
burgers,
like a huge Tupperware of spaghetti,
everything, and sweets. And so when I started showing up with a salad and water, and we all eat around the same table, first of all, it was, hey, good, or first of all, it was, what are you doing? What's wrong with you? And I said, well, I'm trying to make some changes. And then it became, well, good for you. Now that you keep that up, that you're doing good. So that would go on. That went on for a couple months, and then it became, wow, you're really doing this. That's impressive, and a little bit more of support after about 2 months, and then you go about 6 or 7 months down the road, and it's, are you still eating that junk? That's not real food. That's rabbit food. What's wrong with you? So it kind of comes back around, because it starts to irritate people. It bugs them, and it's really kind of funny. I've gotten to the point now where it's just kind of hilarious to me. I have fun with it, and you got to tell the crab story.
My brother talks about when crabs are in a crab pot and one of them starts to climb out, the other ones will grab him and pull him back down, because they don't want anyone to be free or be better than them, so they'll pull him back down in the crab pot with him. And so we use that sort of theory a lot, that no one wants you to achieve or to win or to get in shape when they're not.
Right.
And I think that people really, honestly, deep in their heart, they do.
Yes.
They want the best for us, and they want the best for their friends and their family. It's just uncomfortable and scary when they're faced with something right in their face like this on a daily basis. So because
it becomes a reality and a possibility for them.
Right.
And that's the hard part. And that's being a competitive person. I think I actually get motivated by situations like that. If I have somebody who does something, instead of me kind of like going into a shell, which I may do for a minute and kind of get that, oh, poor me, then it immediately turns into, okay, how can I do that? Because that's awesome. I want to experience that. And so, what we do in Maximize Living, and this is really where you talk about kind of a culture and surrounding yourself with people. What we do in Maximize Living is really try to help people do it and basically live a healthy lifestyle and make it real and achievable. And the bottom line is people who choose to do it and actually do it. And, they get the results. It may be a different timeline for seeing the change, but if you stick with it and you stick with it long enough, you can never say 100% guaranteed, but you are 100% guaranteed to have change and to get better. There's no question. If I would challenge any person to say, if you can come in and for 9 days follow everything that I lay out for you for 9 days, I guarantee 100% certainty that your life will change ridiculously.
Yes.
Radical change. Whether it's a pain concern or a weight concern or just energy concern or medication concern, whatever that is, 100% if you followed it for 90 days or even 30 days, let's say just do 30 days, 28 days, I'm telling you, you will see changes for the better. Go ahead.
And I just wanted, one thing we haven't covered, and I think it's important that we do, is in my situation, when I started with you in May, and I was, at that time, I know because I went to the clinic that day, I was 237 pounds. Today, I'm 200 pounds. So I've lost 37 pounds. My pain is much less.